Everybody who's a hater, I would sure like to thank them. I'm Mr. Krabs, you're looking more like Plankton. Now let's see what Cosmo and Ron to do. Obtuse, rubber goose, green goose, guava juice. Powerpuff Girls taught me how to be the nicest by making sure I don't forget the sugar and the spices.
Okay, you beautiful passengers, welcome back to the back of the semi, and I promise y'all I am not going to do a 6.5 minute intro like I did in the last chapter we watched together. That was a little ridiculous of me, and I didn't mean to do it, but I just kept talking and all that stuff, so sorry about that. Promise you I won't do it this time, maybe 3 minutes, but with that said, let's just go ahead and jump into the stuff I need to take care of first, and then we can go ahead and jump into this chapter. And what I need to take care of is letting y'all know about the premieres and stuff like that. So I took a poll, and y'all overwhelmingly said bring back the premieres and stuff like that. So with a comment that was left underneath that poll, it got me thinking, and y'all need a place to be able to talk about spoilers with each other. And instead of the regular comments, which I jumped down there after about 24 hours, I jumped down there, and sometimes y'all might try to spoil something by accident, and of course, thank you to the moderators who take care of that, but y'all want to talk about spoilers sometimes. So with the premiere, there is a live chat with the premiere. You could all get together, watch the reaction with each other, enjoy the show with me and stuff like that. But then I'm not going to jump into the premieres. If I'm not caught up on the show completely, I'm not going to jump into it. Like the Owl House or DuckTales or something, I'll join in on the premiere if I got a chance and talk with y'all and stuff like that. But when it comes to like Big Hero 6 or Rwby or whatever, if I'm not caught up on it, I'm not going to jump into the comments. I did in Chapter 3. Well, I'm not going to jump into the live chat at the premiere, I should say. I did in Chapter 3, though, just to jump in there and say, hey, you know what? Spoil away, have fun, do your thing in here. I'm out. See ya. Then I sent 3 hearts, and I dipped out, and I didn't want to get spoiled. So, if y'all want to talk about spoilers with each other on this channel, please do it during the premiere. By all means, it's a free-for-all in there. Do whatever you want. Talk about whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I will not join in on it until I get caught up on the very last episode that I get caught up on. Then I'll join in on the live chat, stuff like that. So, now that I finally covered that, free-for-all in the premiere comments, jump in there, talk about anything you want. If there's something, I don't know, I got a screenshot of Adam here from the intro. You want to talk about him? Go ahead. I haven't met him yet. But I'm not going to jump into the comments of the live chat. So, I'm done talking. I don't want to go on for another 3 minutes. So, let's go ahead. This is the right ear. And this is the left ear. 3, 2, 1, and play. Okay, so I can also ramble through this because a lot of y'all say that the intro here is kind of spoilery anyway, and I agree. It probably is a little bit spoilery because I did see that picture of Crow and, you know, Summer and, you know, all them. I did see all that. So, and now that I'm thinking about it, the 4 maidens, that probably was a spoiler a little bit because my noodle gets to thinking a lot and I go places with it in my head, such as Summer. No, let me rephrase that. We heard that Autumn wasn't acting right, which of course that was probably Autumn from the 4 maidens, but we also got somebody named Winter in here, which of course is Weiss's sister, and I'm wondering, is it Winter the season from the 4 maidens? And was Summer from, you know, whatever? I mean, that's the kind of stuff that runs through my head. So let's get back to this. The Vital Festival. And no, please don't tell me if I'm right. Yeah. Emerald and Mercury. Okay. Interesting match. Oh, And in the doubles round, we get 4 different areas. That's interesting. I like it.
Hey. Love the outfit, kid.
I'll try not to get blood on it.
Oh,
I can't promise you'll leave.
Emerald.
I won't be the
Love
one
ya.
bleeding.
Oh, I love
Just because of
her.
that statement, I love her now.
3, 2, 1, begin!
Wow, these two. Okay. Come on, girl. Oh, well, okay, that's one way to mow the grass. And I'm glad they got that barrier there for the crowd.
Huh?
Uh-oh. Okay.
He's good. Yeah, but where's the girl?
Yeah, good point. Where is the girl? Oh! Oh, good thinking, girl. I'm glad you put that briefcase away. So where? I was about to say, where's Emerald?
Go, go!
Oh, there you go. Get him, boy. I've got a feeling Mercury and Emerald are going to win. It's kind of just a given at this point. Oh! Oh, you broke her glasses.
I don't like her. Damn.
Coco!
Watch out. She's in the trees.
And with that final blow, Yatsuhashi is eliminated!
What?
What? Well, it is Mercury. He does kind of move pretty fast, so.
Damn.
Okay. You're eliminated too.
And with an amazing upset, Emerald and Mercury are victorious!
Coco?
Huh. Well, this was quite a scene change.
Yes. I was merely needed to oversee the transport of additional units to Vale.
Huh.
Our last shipment was lost to an ambush. I believe you had a run-in with its cargo, actually. It's fortunate those paladins were still in the prototype stage. Otherwise, your team may not have fared so well.
Well, how do you know how their team was going to
You've
fare?
done well, out here.
I mean, they seem to be proving themselves above and beyond as it was lately.
I'll be honest, it was quite amusing seeing Father's face the day you left for Beacon.
I can't wait to show him what I've learned.
Oh.
Reminiscing about Father, are y'all?
What do you mean? I'm getting better and better with my glyphs. I've even started time dilation.
And what of your summoning?
You know I can't.
Don't be ridiculous. Every Schnee has the ability to summon. We have for generations.
So,
I've tried.
we can now
It's just-
summon.
It's the one thing I'm having
Okay,
trouble
so
with.
it's a new power
Which
that I'm not
means
familiar
I-
with yet, but you know, hey, I can get
Many
familiar
other
with it pretty
semblance is
quickly.
hereditary. But that doesn't mean that it will come easily. Your semblance is like a muscle. The more you practice with it, the stronger it will become. But if you only focus on one aspect of it, if you fail to test the limits of what you think is possible, then you'll never truly grow.
That was interesting.
You're nothing but talk, kid.
You can do it, Rooby!
Yeah, I was about to say, y'all are obviously doing something
Annihilation.
that involves
By the
playing
way,
around.
Don't ever call me old.
My turn.
Challenger approaching.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're using your little phones as controllers. That's cool. I like it.
Right. I come across a small village in the swamps west of Mistral.
Uh-oh.
Right off the bat.
We're going to
something
Minstrel.
Wasn't right.
What were you doing there?
I needed information.
With a little bit of new animation.
Tired
I
from
like this
battling crime
style.
along the way, I decided to start my search at the town's inn. The place was crawling with lowlifes and thugs, even a few huntsmen that I could only assume had been hired by less than reputable people for less than respectable jobs. And that's when it happened.
What happened?
I was defeated by the mere sight of the innkeeper's skirt length.
Ha I had a feeling.
Annihilation.
I just had a feeling.
Best 2 out of 3.
So, Uncle Crow, did you get in trouble with Ozpin?
Nah, me and Oz go way back. We're cool.
Do you?
Cool for an old guy.
Not funny.
Hey, so what are you doing here anyway? I thought Dad said you'd be away on a mission for, like, ever.
Ready. Fight.
Well,
Who
a
says he's not on a
professional
mission?
marksman like myself is expected to get results as soon as possible.
Yeah, I get that. We're pretty much pros, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, read the news sometime. We totally saved Vale while you were gone.
Funny, because I heard Vale suffered a grim attack after you almost managed to stop a train.
Ah.
Wins. Total annihilation.
But they don't give out medals
Yep.
for almost.
Almost.
They do, and they're called silver.
Well, we helped take down Norman
And they're
Torchwick.
called
He's locked
silver.
up in Ironwood ship and
Come on,
hunted him ever
Rooby.
since.
Really?
That's basically a bounty mission.
Ever the
Sure, you may
optimist,
be
though, that
acting like
Rooby.
huntresses, but you're not thinking like one. You really think 4 girls and their friends could end all crime in the kingdom?
I mean, I did until you said that.
Violence hasn't
Wow.
dropped since Roman got nabbed. It stopped. Completely.
Just
No white
wiped
family
her
activity
optimism out the
anywhere
water.
around the city. You cut off the head of a King Taijitu, but now the second head's calling the shots. That's what Ironwood can't get through that thick metal head of his.
You know the general?
Ironwood
I
can't
know
get it through his
everybody to some
thick
extent.
metal head.
Remember, you're talking to a member of the coolest team to ever graduate Beacon.
Uh-oh, here's that picture.
Team Stark. That's when I met your parents.
Really?
We were pretty well known.
I saw the way you moved
Known
your
for good
thumb
fashion sense.
Hey, we looked good.
over
I have a
Yang's
number of inappropriate
mother.
stories that'll back that up. But I'll save those for when you're older.
Ugh, gross.
Anyway, I'm too old to be hanging out with a bunch of kids. You're gonna cramp my style. Look, just remember that you've still got a long way to go. And don't think for a second that graduating means you're done. Every day out there is worth a week in this place.
Yep.
You two, you're gonna go far.
It's a good he's a good uncle.
But only if you keep
He is a good uncle.
If you
I'll
never
try to keep
stop
what I'm
moving
thinking in my head for the end. We got a little slug.
Excellent form. Now think to your fallen foes, the ones that forced you to push yourself past who you were and become who you are now. Think of them and watch as they come to your side.
Yeah, but I was about to say, you seem to be concentrating too hard. Wow, girl!
If this is what you
Just
call
smack her in
trying,
the back of
then
her
you have
head.
no hope of winning the tournament, let alone succeeding as a huntress. Why don't you just move back home? I'm sure Father will give you a nice job as a receptionist.
I don't need his charity.
But you do need his money, don't you?
What? How did you know
She's got a
about
point.
Lucky guess. I may have been in a similar situation when I
I
joined the
bet that
military.
phone call was to
So
let
what have
her
you done
know
this time?
that
Well,
winter
that's
was
the
coming.
thing. I'm really
Huh.
not sure. I went to pay for lunch the other day, but my
Because
card didn't
he
work.
How
didn't.
embarrassing.
He
I know.
didn't. She didn't answer the phone call.
Well, it
So
was. Why would he cut me
I'm
off like
presuming
that?
that's why he
Perhaps so
was
you'd
calling
stop
us to let her
avoiding
know
him
about
and
her.
call home. Emotions can grant you strength, but you must never let them overpower you. It sounds to me like you
Good
have
point.
two choices in front of you.
Good point.
You can either call him, beg for his money back, and explain once more why you want to study at Beacon.
And I'm
over
gonna try to
Atlas.
keep that thought in my head too for the
Or
end. That
you
one
could
might end
continue
up
to
being a little
explore Rwby,
controversial though.
discovering more about the world and, honestly, more about yourself. It's time for me to go.
Well, that just looked like an awkward hug at first. That's just me.
Until next time, sister.
I wonder what that meant. That's father. Say hello? No? Oh. Okay. So maybe you're just gonna say you don't need father's money. Okay. Okay, so let me go ahead, get the controversial one out of my head now, and, you know, whatnot like that. Winter said something to Weiss to the effect of, emotion can give you strength, but don't let it overpower you. So, if you check the date that this video was uploaded, and check some of the news stories that are going on right now here in America and possibly around the world, which I don't get that part. Why would London and Paris and, you know, why would Europe and all over the world be protesting stuff that's I won't even say protesting. I'll say well, no, maybe the peaceful protesters. I'll call them protesters. But there's a lot of rioting going on here in the United States, and it has a lot to do with emotions. George Floyd, yes, I do agree that it was a horrible, tragic death, and I would stand in solidarity with anybody and everybody who agrees with me on that. Yes, it's a horrible death. We need justice for that. But unfortunately, our legal system is slow, and justice is slowly coming. Do I agree with the charge for the cop that was initially, who was at the center of it? No, I don't agree with the charge. They're saying third-degree manslaughter when it's probably, you could probably pin him down for second-degree murder. And what second-degree murder is pretty much fit of the moment type of rage, and you didn't set out intentionally to kill somebody, but you did anyway. And that's what I would get him on, but I'm presuming the prosecutors are wanting to get him on at least at the minimum of what they can get, because there's a lot of ways and loopholes of getting out of stuff. So yes, it's a tragic, tragic thing that happened, and the man should have lifted his knee off of George Floyd as soon as he didn't hear George saying anything anymore. But with that said, yes, it is tragic. But with that comes a lot of emotion. And yes, I'm tying it back over here to Rwby. With that comes a lot of emotion. I thought about doing a let's ride and talk about this, but it's everyone has a lot of emotion about it. And there's so much emotion that goes into this story that it's overpowering so many people. Some people are just using it as an excuse to, loot and riot and just be violent and all that stuff. They're just using this as an excuse. But some people, they're actually letting their emotions get the best of them. Yes, emotions give you strength in the moment, but don't let those emotions overpower you to the point where you're busting windows and stealing people's merchandise and stuff like that. That never solved anything. Martin Luther King Jr., he showed us what it was like to actually protest and march in solidarity and get results. And I know none of y'all are on my personal Facebook page, but I've got a lot of thoughts on this. And yes, I've spoke out against the George Floyd thing, but now I've had to pivot to the daggone riots, because in all reality, it's making so many things worse. Everyone's let and yet, no, I did not expect to talk about this whenever Weiss and Winter had their conversation. I had no idea I was going to say any of this before. I can't get the name out of my mouth. Winter said, emotions can give you power, but don't let them overpower you, is a sense what she said. But these riots are making things worse. You want to show... Okay, here's one of the controversial statements. If Black Lives Matter, quit the riots. What you're doing is destroying jobs, which there's many black people here in America that need those jobs to provide a livelihood for them. And that means if they don't have a job, that means children are going hungry at night, because now their parents' livelihood is not, there anymore. Their job isn't there because y'all done burned down an apartment complex, or y'all burnt, well, it wasn't an apartment complex. It was one that was under construction. It was a low-income apartment complex. And I don't get what the flipping thought process is of these rioters. I understand they're emotional, but no, you can't just destroy businesses and livelihoods of people who are out there. Those are black people as well. If Black Lives Matter, what about the black livelihoods of these men and women that now don't have no job to provide for their black children who are going to go hungry? So if Black Lives Matter, what the flip? And then on top of that, there's daggone black business owners getting shot and killed and beat to death. So if Black Lives Matter, all they're trying to do is protect their business, and then they're beat to death. Black Lives Matter, right? What the flip? And no, I did not expect to say none of this, and I'm sorry if it offends people, but if Black Lives Matter, quit the riots, because it's doing nothing but ending up destroying black livelihoods. And, yes, I understand the whole all lives matter thing and stuff like that. Okay, I get that point, but you know what? There's a divide right now, and the riots need to stop. Hopefully, by the time I upload this, it's done and over, but I don't even know. So, I got so many more thoughts about it, but I'm just going to shut it up. And I'm going to move to Crow. Crow, he is a good uncle. He's very good. He's giving them sound advice. I'm ending this on a positive note, because it is a positive advice that he is giving them. Telling them flat out, look, learn what you can here, but once you get out here in the real world, it's a learning experience every single day you're out here. That's just like whenever I'm out here driving. Yeah, okay, I went to school for it, but school only taught me so much. I'm driving now for 6 years, and I'm still learning stuff out here. I'm learning new tricks and new practices and new everything. So just like them being hunters and huntresses, you know what? Hey, you're going to end up getting into the real world eventually, doing your own missions. You're going to learn new tricks and trades and practices, just like Crow's trying to tell you. So, I look at him. He's a positive influence on these girls. He's doing good with them. And, I did notice that one thing, though. When he showed them the picture, he moved that thumb a little. So, yeah, he had enough forethought in his head to know that Yang would probably get emotional about that. And, yeah, I don't know much else to say after that little bit of a detour I took, and I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to take the detour, but yeah, if you are watching this at a later date and you're wondering, what the flip is he talking about? You know, maybe you're watching this a year later or something. You know, just search the date, George Floyd, and that's what I was talking about earlier. But yeah, I ended on a good note. Crow, he's a great uncle. I like him. You know, I'd like to be that kind of uncle. But, you know, hey, I really don't have much to do with my, nephews. I don't have any nieces, so I don't have much to do with them. I got second cousins that I'm kind of like an uncle to. So, hey, at least I could be a good uncle to them. Which, I don't know. I better, you know what? I better shut up, because everything I say makes me want to go off into another tangent and get myself kind of like, wow, that kind of sucks and depressed now. So while I'm still in a good mood thinking of Crow and his relationship with his nieces, I'm just done. It is y'all's turn. Y'all know the drill from here. Hit the like, tickle to subscribe, don't be texting and driving, and as Mr. Rogers always says,
and I like you as you are, I do.